Hi everyone, welcome to Women's Health 101. Today we're going to basically just dive right into this nitty-gritty of what it means to be happy and healthy as a woman. So this will cover physical, emotional, and nutritional aspects that may affect your health. My name is Deka King and I'm the Holistic Breast Specialist and Naturopathic Doctor here in the Houston, Katy area. So the what, when, and how of PMS. So PMS stands for premenstrual syndrome. This is basically a combination of symptoms that many women get about a week or two before their period begins. Most women report getting some combination of symptoms such as bloating, mild cramps, headaches, and even moodiness, all of which is common, but it's just not normal. If you're getting cramps that are so bad that you're missing work or school, you should basically have a chat with your doctor. Do you get PMS symptoms? So which ones do you get? And what are you doing to alleviate them? If you're interested in learning natural ways to relieve PMS symptoms, please go to our blog on our website at deikakingnd.com. That is DEIKAKING.nd.com, and check out our blog section. There's a really great blog on natural ways to relieve PMS. So today, women are more familiar with birth controls, and I just want to cover a few that you may be familiar with or maybe not. Okay, so the first one is birth control implant. This is basically a small plastic rod about the size of a matchstick. This is implanted into the inner arm. This particular type of birth control is 99% effective. It can last up to 5 years and is reversible. Okay. Then you have the IUD, which is intrauterine device. It's a small T-shaped device that is placed into the uterus. And there's two kinds. One is hormonal and one is non-hormonal. And with a hormonal IUD, periods get lighter and they could go away completely. But with a non-hormonal, periods can get heavier, but it can protect you from being pregnant up to 12 years. These IUDs are 99% effective, and they can last between 3 to 12 years, depending on the kind that you get. And also the non-hormonal IUD is also reversible. Then there's birth control shots, and this is basically an injection that you get every 3 months. These are 94% effective. Then you have the birth control vaginal ring, and this is basically a small flexible ring that prevents pregnancy by releasing hormones into your body. Once a month, the ring is placed into the vaginal area, and you can do this at home. And then the vaginal lining basically absorbs the hormone. These are 91% effective. And of course, pills are still a popular option for many women. And safe sex with condoms should be practiced because no birth control option listed in this webinar will protect you from sexual transmitted diseases. Okay. So cramps affect about half of all women who menstruate. But despite how common they are, folks don't really know how to tell what's normal and what's not normal. So if you're experiencing any of the following symptoms, you should check with your health practitioner. So if you're having pain that lasts more than 2 to 3 days, if you're having pelvic pain at times besides your cycle, besides your period, if you're taking over-the-counter pain medications that aren't really helping you, if you're calling into work regularly because of the amount of pain that you're having, if you're worried that something is not right, okay? If your cramps are making it difficult for you to go about your everyday, then don't accept that this is fine, that this is normal, because it really is not. At this point, you really should be seeing a doctor. If severe cramping is basically accompanied by fever, vomiting, dizziness, or any unusual vaginal bleeding or discharge, call or visit your doctor immediately. Sometimes a fluid-filled sac called a cyst can develop in the ovaries. Most of these cysts are benign, painless, and cause no symptoms. However, sometimes symptoms can appear as the cyst grows. These symptoms can include things like abdominal bloating and swelling, painful bowel movements, pelvic pain before or during your menstrual cycle, You can have painful intercourse, pain in the lower back and thighs. You can have breast tenderness, nausea and vomiting. You can be dizzy, feel dizzy, and you can also have fever. I've had ovarian cysts, and these things, you just have to learn how to manage them. These symptoms can indicate that the cyst has ruptured or that an ovary has shifted in the wrong way. Cysts cannot be prevented, but routine GI exams, GYN exams, can detect cysts early on and save you from invasive surgery to remove them. Also, it can prevent the risk of infertility, and then, of course, it can prevent other complications. So vaginal discharge is something no one likes talking about, but we should all know about it. Okay, we need to know what's normal and then what's not. If you don't know what's abnormal, you don't know what's normal, you don't know what's going on. So let's find out a little bit about this. So there's one of the type of discharges that you can get is thick white discharge, and this represents normal discharge. It should be clear to milky in color, and then it can vary in consistencies from watery to mucus-like. The smell should be mild. Then there's another discharge that can be yellow to green discharge. This is abnormal discharge, and this could be a sign of bacterial infection or even an STD. Then you can have brown discharge, it may be caused by irregular period cycles. If it keeps appearing, it could be a sign of serious uterine or cervical issues. So talk to your GYN. You can also have very thick, white, chunky discharge. It's likely a yeast infection, and this can be accompanied by things like itching and redness, irritation and burning in that area. For more information on vaginal discharges, please visit our website at deikakingnd.com and go check out our blog section. There's a blog on vaginal discharges, things that are normal. There's a few other ones that we're not discussing now. So read up on that, okay? So two types of infections that women are prone to, and one of them is UTI and the other one is a yeast infection. UTI basically starts off as a constant feeling of needing to go to pee, but you don't have to. If not treated with lots of water to basically flush out the bacteria buildup, the infection can basically spread to the kidneys and then eventually the blood, and then it can cause severe health issues. If you feel a UTI coming on, schedule an appointment with our office so that we can give you natural options to alleviate it. Because if you go to your normal doctor, to your allopathic doctor, they're going to give you antibiotics, and that can have effects on your gut and other parts of your body. So to prevent UTIs in the first place, one of the things that you can do is pee right after you have sexual intercourse. The urinary tract on women is much more shorter than a man, so bacteria can travel up much easier and they can cause infections. Very unromantic, but try to make it a routine to basically hop into the bathroom after sex, and this will help a lot, okay? You'll thank yourself later. As far as yeast infections are concerned, the best thing you can do is to basically cut back on sugar. Think about baking a loaf of bread or making a pizza dough, right? When you're mixing the ingredients together and you add the sugar or the honey, whatever sweetener you use, to the yeast, and then you add warm water to it, it begins to rise and it becomes activated, right? So warm, moist environments, a little bit of yeast and natural sugar or just any kinds of sugar can lead to terrible yeast infection. So try to avoid this as much as possible. So another thing you can do to help balance the bacteria and yeast in your vaginal area is to balance your gut with probiotics. So probiotics are very important because if you're prescribed antibiotics, this can destroy all the bacteria in your gut. You'll need some help basically restoring it. So you need some good bacteria to keep yourself healthy and balanced. So studies have shown that the average woman eats about 70 pounds of sugar per year. Sugar is hidden in a lot of things that we eat, which means that most of us are eating way more than our body is meant to handle. Some of us can argue that it's so much sugar that we're having that it could be toxic to us. From yogurts and coffees in the morning, granola bars throughout the day, and drinking during happy hour, having our alcohol. Sugar can find its way into so much of what we're eating, and then it can cause havoc. It can wreak havoc in our gut. Sugar also causes inflammation, weight gain, energy depletion, and it can contribute to the progression of Alzheimer's disease, various types of cancers, heart disease, and liver disease. So here's the recommended daily limit is 6 teaspoons per day, which is about 24 grams per day. And so here are examples of things that our food contains that have a lot of sugar, that not knowing it, we overeat sugar. I mean, think about it. If you have 2 tablespoons of barbecue sauce, that's 15 grams, just 2 tablespoons. 31 grams in fruit flavored yogurt. Who doesn't like fruit flavored yogurt? But that's way more over your limit for that day. And think of all the other things that you're eating. If you're eating in the morning a yogurt, and then you go through the day eating other things, you are over consuming sugar, which once again can be toxic to your body and cause all kinds of problem in your gut. So we all treat our hair differently. Some of us spend every morning just spending hours doing our hair, blow drying our hair, using a curling iron for our hair. Some of us haven't seen our natural hair color in years. And then some of us grab whatever shampoo is on sale. We just tie our hair back and we get going, right? Because we're always busy. Regardless of whether you fall in the spectrum, there are some simple tips that you can use to keep your hair looking and feeling its best. So as any high-end hairdresser will tell you, don't wash your hair every day. By doing so, you're really stripping your hair of natural oils and adding dullness and dryness. So shoot for every other day. If you blow dry your hair or straighten with a curling iron, use a protective spray. Additionally, invest in a good conditioner and leave it in for a few minutes in the shower, because conditioner is better at coating the hair. When it comes to brushing your hair, use a comb instead of a brush when hair is wet. And always start by brushing out the ends first, then slowly bringing your brush up to higher after each stroke. This way you won't pull at your hair as much. So do you leave your nails a la natural? Or would you miss your appointment with your manicurist? To keep your nails looking and feeling their best, keep these tips in mind when you're caring for them. Number one, when filing your nails, try to file in just one direction instead of going back and forth. This way you create less damage to your nails. Number two, don't cut your cuticles. If anything, just push them back gently. This cutting it, if you cut it and you nick your skin, then you open up your skin for infection. Also, another thing that you can do, dry your nails and lots of hangnails. Each night, moisturize your hands and dab a bit of concentrated natural moisturizer like coconut oil, jojoba oil, olive oil, shea butter on each nail, because dry nails and hangnails can be a pain in the butt, okay? So this is something that you can do just to sort of alleviate those things. So the way you start your day will basically dictate how the rest of your day goes. So it's a really good idea to create a routine that inspires you to be productive. One of the best ways to get in the right headspace for to start your day is with a few minutes of reflection or meditation, prayer, stretching, anything like that helps you just sort of activate your system. It doesn't have to be more than a few minutes, and you can get started as soon as you wake up. Just sit comfortably, think about, what you want to accomplish for the day while you're stretching or meditating or praying. Then set intentions for that day. Even if your intention is to be strong, to be kind, to be brave, and just send those positive thoughts through the universe. If you're not really into sitting quietly, just if you're moving, if you're exercising, if you're whatever it is that you're doing, squatting, stretching, jumping jacks, whatever it is, just make sure that you're starting your morning doing something that sort of activates your system and gets you in the right frame of mind. So night routine is really important. It's a great idea to end your day on the right note. And one way to do it is by creating a nighttime routine that sets your mind to rest and prepares you for a good night's sleep. A lot of women that come see me in the office have trouble sleeping. So I always try to give advice on a few things that you can do. So here's a few tips to consider. Switch from overhead lights to lamps and smaller, softer lights after 10 o'clock. Teach your brain that it's time to wind down by getting into a habit of preparing a warm beverage before you go to sleep, like maybe some chamomile tea, lemon and ginger, whatever it is that you enjoy that's going to soothe you. Plus, the warmth will help with digestion. Also, you can try taking hot showers or bath. Your body temperature naturally dips at night. So when you submerge yourself in a warm bath, your temperature rises and the cool down period immediately afterwards relaxes you. So anoint yourself with relaxing scents like lavender is one of my favorite ones, chamomile before bed. Or better yet, you can find or make like your own linen spray with scents that can help you calm your system down and prepare you to sleep. So I would prepare those things and spray it on your bed sheets, and that will really calm you. What are you doing right now to wind yourself down at night? So each person's skin is different. So there's no one set product that works for everyone. This makes finding the correct skin routine a process that can take years. So to help you along, follow these steps. One of the things that you can do is to start using a toner, moisturizer, and even serum. Make that part of your routine. A toner is going to help balance and cleanse the skin. A moisturizer is going to add basically nourishment to your skin. And a serum is going to provide deep moisture. This is perfect for helping the skin recuperate and stay hydrated overnight. If you have a pimple, don't pop it. Instead, help the process along with spot treatments. Find a clay mask or even make one from kaolin clay. Use some water or even apple cider vinegar is great. Apply to your blemishes like 10 to 20 minutes. You can rinse that off and then apply your serum. So you can repeat this 2 to 3 times a week. It's perfect for blemishes. So sunblock not only protects you from getting burned, but it also helps protect your skin from cancer and wrinkles. And I want to share a recipe here that you can make yourself at home instead of going to buy an over-the-counter sun protection that is full of chemicals. This is something natural that you can do at home. You get a pint glass jar, you put your lavender oil, your pomegranate oil, your coconut oil, you get some zinc oxide, some shea butter, mix that sucker up, and there you go. You have a natural sun protection for your skin. So social media, advertisements, televisions, and even movies can all make you feel as though your bodies aren't good enough. And this can lead to unhealthy eating habits. It can lead to dangerous dieting and even negative mental state. So to deal with things like this, I invite you to try the following tips. So recreate your social media. If you use Instagram or whatever it is that you're using, cleanse your feed of pages that make you feel anything negative. Instead, replace those things with things that make you happy, like pictures of your animals or your family. Add food recipes, beautiful art, poetry, to help you get rid of that negative mindset. If you're having a bad day, repeat some self-love mantras. You can share those with people that follow you or that like your pages. Another thing that you can do is throw away clothes that don't fit you. We all have a closet full of clothes that don't fit us that we say we're going to get back into. 5 years later passes and it's still sitting there. So just give it to someone who will benefit from it. And that's a great way to sort of clear your mind and keep yourself from feeling negative about the way that you look or things like that. So these are just a few tips that you can do. So anxiety affects millions of people. Trying to keep it under control can be very difficult. And depending on how severe your anxiety is, there are different tactics that you can try. But if you have mild anxiety that basically crops up every once in a while, there are things that you need to do. I've dealt with anxiety before, thought I was having a heart attack, and I've since learned to sort of calm myself. And so here are just a few tips for you to use. One of the things that you can do is when you start feeling an anxiety attack coming on, separate yourself from what you're doing. If you're in a situation that makes you anxious, step away from it. Tell whoever you're with, just give me a minute. I just need to step outside, or whatever you need to do. Move elsewhere into a different physical space and start, deep breathing for a whole minute. This is very calming and it can help clear your mind. When you're feeling anxious, take a moment to think about what it is that's making you feel that way. And if you're with someone, like I said, tell someone, say something like, I'm sorry if I seem a little distracted today. I think I'm worried about whatever it is you're worried about. And it's just taking up a lot of my headspace. So please don't take it personally. If I'm acting a bit distant, it's just me, it's not you. And just give me a few minutes and step away. And then come back once you've regained, put yourself together, okay? Another thing that you can do is write it out. Your thoughts can get stuck floating around your head, and you can get overwhelmed with the thoughts in your head. So take a few minutes to jot down everything that you're thinking. It'll help you process your thoughts better. So if this is something that you're dealing with, and another thing, if you are dealing with anxiety, share your thoughts about it on our Facebook page with friends, because there might be other people dealing with it and they really don't know what to do and they think maybe they're going a little nuts. Just share it so people know that even though it's not normal, it's common. And so just help anybody who could benefit from this. Just share your thoughts about that. Self-care is a term that we're hearing a lot about. It basically refers to the practice of taking an active role in protecting your own well-being and health during times of stress, right? So here are a few ways that you can practice self-care. And I have a whole list of 60 tips on self-care, things that you can do for yourself. But let's start off with number one, plan out your meals for the week. You'll include nutritional food, save money from being tempted to eat out. That's a great way to take care of yourself. Take power naps when you need. Take about 20 minutes. That's perfect timing for power nap. Allow yourself yummy foods in moderation. Indulging in a donut or a bag of chips every once in a while won't kill you, and it's okay. Don't feel guilty about it. Make time to laugh with your friends. Like I said, we have a list of 60 self-care tips. If you're interested in implementing this in your daily routine, you can send me a quick email at info@deikakind.com. And in the subject line, send me the 60 self-care tips, and I will send that right over to you. It's a PDF form, and you just have it with you and start doing things for yourself. Another thing that we need to learn to say is no. Do you feel like you're a bit of a people's pleaser? It's easy to say, yeah, sure, when someone asks you to help, but you can't say yes to everything. When you do, you'll basically pile way too much, and then you'll end up drowning yourself in stress. When you're ready to put your foot down, use tips like this. When somebody asks you to do something and you really want to say no, just keep your response simple. Be strong in your language. Remember that you're not asking permission to say no. Another thing that you can do is buy yourself some time. If you're not sure, use a phrase like, I'll get back to you. Also, you can consider a compromise, but not only do so if you agree with the request. So you can say something like, I will do it, but I can only do it between this time and this time. I can only do it in this day, or I can do it if. So if you need to compromise, don't be afraid to compromise. Just do it. Another thing that you can do is understand that it is your right to say no. You're turning down a favor. You're not turning down the person. So make sure that's clear. So putting yourself first is a form of self-care. You're well aware of the metaphor of like when you're in the plane that they say put the oxygen mask on yourself first. But for some reason, sometimes we hold back and taking care of our own personal needs before we take care of our family, especially if you're a mom. That is just your norm. That's what you normally do. But there's times when you just have to put yourself first. You cannot take care of your family if you are ill. You cannot take care of your family if you are unhappy. It makes it very difficult. Okay. So maybe you're afraid that if you put yourself first, people will stop liking you, or you don't feel worthy um, of that self love or that self care. If these things sound familiar, consider this. You're not, excuse me, you're not being selfish by putting yourself first. On the contrary, caring for yourself helps you to be more productive, happier, more energetic, makes you less fearful, less stressed, less resentful of other people, and less depressed, right? Set aside time each day to do something you want to do. Make yourself a priority and it basically invest in things that keep you healthy and happy. Manicure, pedicure, facials, going for a walk by yourself, buying some music that you love. Um, these things are really important in making yourself whole so that you can take care of other people. So, you need to learn to ask for help when you need it and don't let your pride stand in the way. So, as women, we're often bullied by society to fit into a particular mold. We feel like we're supposed to be a certain shape, have smooth skin, wear the right clothes, act the right way, eat the right things. But no one can fit into all those expectations and still be happy, at least not a lot of women. So, don't be fooled into thinking that you're not good enough because you can't fit in all of these expectations that society has put out there for us. Choose the French fries once in a while over the salad, right? Let your hair grow out in your legs. I know I do during the winter. Don't feel ashamed by choosing to say no to something you don't want to do. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. You are fantastic. You're beautiful. You're intelligent. And you're a worthwhile human being who deserves to take up space in this world. So don't be sorry about it. Embrace yourself. Embrace who you are. Embrace what you stand for. And your life will be so much better in the end. I just want to say that if you're interested in wellness, I have a free ebook on our website, Wellness Without Limits, and also 101 healthy tips for women in our ebook section on our website. These are things that are free. You can download. They're great reads, great ideas. So if you're interested, just please visit our website and download those items. If you're interested in have any questions for us, or if you're interested in our services, here's our contact information. Don't be afraid to use it. And I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day to join me. I absolutely love getting to chat with, entertain or educate anybody who's willing to listen. I hope that you learned something valuable. There might be something in here that you did not know anything about, or you knew a little bit about, and this was educational for you. Please don't be afraid to share information. There are women out there who might need it, who might benefit from it. And so feel free to share this. Um, so if you have any questions, like I said, just please use the contact information that was shown a little bit earlier and just shoot us an email, ask your question, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Once again, thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your evening.